Hello and welcome to Horizon Cosplay Spooky Season. I am Annabelle and today we have demon teddy bears. How cute are these guys? Fortunately, this isn't what we're making today. These are from the anime Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, which I highly recommend, but because they've got bat wings, they are a little bit relevant. So what we're actually making today is these lovely bats from this vintage panel, which I think is from about the 70s, 80s or 90s, is what it said in the listing when I got it off eBay. Looking at it, I'm thinking 80s, could be 90s. Give me your opinion in the comments down below. But we have three of them. We've got a lovely little pink bat, a yellow bat and a blue bat, and let's see what the panel looks like so that we can get on with the project. Ben spent a lot of time while ironing the bats complaining that this has to be the oddest panel he's seen so far, and I'm not sure that I agree, but I decided to make a note of it here so that you guys can let me know if you think he's right. Now, I had been cutting out a lot of panels this day and the bats were unlucky enough to be last, meaning I did not have nearly enough pins, but after a lot of scrambling we did get there. Then I died on the sofa for a few hours before cutting out all the pieces that I needed so that we could actually get on with this project. And today is the day we are going to sew ourselves a cauldron of bats, because I have just googled it and learnt that that is what a group of bats is called. Suitably Halloween and witchified that. I am fairly impressed and I like this, and this is now going to be my fun fact for like ever. But we need to get a stitch in. We have 3 to make. They're going to be so cute. I began by laying out all the pieces and reading through the instructions, and well, they are there, so I may as well use them, I suppose. Then I pinned together the top and bottom of all 3 heads, as well as the front and back of the ears and the darts in between the legs of the body, which I feel is just going to look super odd. These were then taken to the sewing machine where we got stitching. It all went really smooth, and I did unfold slightly to double check everything looked right. As always with vintage panels, we have been given absolutely no seam allowance to guide us as to how far we should be stitching from the edge, but I'm winging it, so I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Winging it, you get it? Because bats have wings. Oh, fine, don't laugh at my jokes. So that went really well. We've got all of the head pieces done, the ear pieces are all stitched, we've done the darts in the body. Overall, that actually just went really well and really quick, and now I'm kind of thinking this project was maybe a bit too easy to just be a standalone video, but oh well, we've started it now, we're going to roll with it. So I've got to trim all the curves. We've got to trim the curves so that they curve properly, pin everything together, and see about doing that. Yeah, we're making our cauldron of bats, guys, and it is going well. Also, like, I need to know which one is your favorite color. So we have blue, we have yellow, and we have pink, and honestly I don't know which one I like best, and I feel the need for you guys to tell me, so please leave it in the comments down below. I would very much appreciate it. Also, there's no any other way to make bats. Like, obviously I just kind of came across this pattern and it was awesome. Came across this panel and it was awesome. Yeah, I think I might need to make more bats in the future, and don't really want to spend as much money as I did on this sewing panel. To cut into the curve, I used my nice and sharp thread scissors, which worked out really well. Then we got to pin everything together, starting with the head, where I had to make sure the ears were placed and folded properly, which was way more fiddly than I would like to admit. Plus, in the end, the inside out head just looked like a very weird attempt at a duck, which was creepy. Though not quite as creepy as the eyes peering out from the inside of that black hole of a head. So let's stitch these quickly to make that go away as fast as humanly possible. And another fun fact to distract us while we make the creepy stuff go away is that some bats can fly as fast as 60 miles per hour, which, if you like me and you like bats, isn't at all concerning. If, however, you see them as small flying rodents that may cause you some distress, I will apologise for this now, because as it turns out, the average human can only run 10 miles an hour, meaning that if one of these cute flying fuzzballs does come at you, we definitely don't have a chance. How cute are these? They're really creepy, and it's like I've got speared bat heads on my fingers. Oh, dearie me. I didn't think this project would make me laugh as much as it is doing. And now we have semi-decapitated heads. Let's go make a body that we can attach them to. Next, I pinned up all the body, which actually took a while considering how many pointy bat wing corners there were. These then got stitched, and again, working my way around all those curves did take some time and extremely tested my patience, but I was pretty happy with how everything ended up looking. After that, we trimmed the edges of the wadding, then snipped into all the curves so that they would lay nice when turned right side around, which, talking of, let's do that. Getting all the edges to sit right did take a little while and was horribly fiddly, but in the end it did look pretty damn good and we finally pinned up all the pieces that needed pinning. Then I realised it was telling me to put pipe cleaners in the legs, and guys, I do not own any pipe cleaners and honestly don't think that boning would work very well, so I took all those little scraps I just cut off the edge of the bats to stuff into the legs and give them a little bit of shape. Then we were ready to stitch. The top stitching went really well. I tried to keep on the lines, though I'm sure it did go a little bit wobbly from time to time. Overall, however, it came out pretty damn neat, and I think that these wings have to be my favourite part of this entire project because, well, they just look awesome. Also, if you like these sewing antics and want to see some more vintage Halloween stuff, do remember to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss the video next Wednesday because, guys, this is just the start. Okay, so we have bats' heads and we have bats' bodies, and now we need to stick them together. I find this so funny, but I genuinely can't tell you guys why I love the bodies. They're very bright and colourful and cute. They do need to be stuffed, so I think we will stuff both of these separately, give it a bit of a stitch once we have a bit of shape to it, because I think once they're attached it's going to be really hard to stuff them, and then stitch them together by hand. Why is this so amusing? Somebody tell me. The stuffing I was using for the bats was from an old pillow. The stuffing that comes from inside this pillow was a bit matted because at some point I did throw it through the washing machine to get out any nasty things because it came from a charity shop, so it had to be shredded before I could stuff it into the bats' bodies and heads. Once we had a good amount of stuffing in each, though they weren't totally full, I pinned the heads onto one side of the body before settling down to hand stitch them on. The opposite of decapitation, and oh god, why am I laughing at this? It's really not that funny. This was a very fiddly process that I didn't always get right, as lining up the neck markings was a lot harder than it looked, but we did persist. And when the bats were 3/3 stitched around, I took some of the excess stuffing and put some more into the neck to help the heads hold themselves up and give the necks a little bit more shape. The rest of the neck was then stitched on the outside, and do this 3 times over, and oh my gosh, suddenly all the bats were done, and guys, we had a cauldron. Now let me know, cute or creepy? The bat literally has a butt crack. Ain't that just odd? Yeah, no, all 3 of them have butt cracks. Exactly what you want on a children's toy. And we are done. We have a whole cauldron worth of bats, and just look how cute and adorable they are. They're also like horribly creepy. Ben's told me that I'm not allowed to put them on display at any time other than Halloween because, I mean, just look at that face. But yeah, they are utterly adorable. I do think the colour on the stomachs is maybe a little bit too much. I think having the colour on the wings would have been good, but maybe just make the body black, because the black and the colour look really good together, and I just think it's the head and the neck, they don't really match up enough. Whereas if they're just done the wings the colour and then the body's black, that probably would have looked quite nice. Overall though, I really like it. I'm not quite sure I have a favourite. All of them are equally as adorable and stuffed and soft. I have no idea what I'm gonna do now that I've got all these bats. Like, genuinely, what do you do with a group of bats? Like, I suppose they're just gonna get added to my soft toy collection, but I do love their wings. Like, the details on the wings is awesome. The back of them also is black and cotton, and thus cat hair is already sticking to them quite a lot. I need to figure out names for all of them. I feel like the pink one should literally be called Pinky, because I'm pretty sure I've heard of a bat called Pinky before. It just doesn't want to sit upright for some reason. So yes, these will be added into the Halloween decorations box as and when we get our own house and I can actually decorate for Halloween, which would be amazing. But for now guys, please let me know if you can think of names for them in the comments down below. Do remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more spooky season content coming up the next few weeks. And until next time guys, I hope you have a beautiful day, a wonderful Halloween, and don't forget, group of bats is called Cauldron. Bye!